Welcome back. We have in studio with us UR Bhatt to talk us through his view of the markets over the short term and the medium term. And we also have with us Sudarshan Sukhani and Amrish Baliga to talk us through the end of markets as we head towards the end of trade today. Before we go to them, though, a quick question to Mr. Bhatt. How would you approach, portfolio allocation, sector allocation at this point in time, given that some of the, bits you've already answered, right? The pro-cyclical trade, the anti-IT trade. What about the anti-FMCG trade that's been playing out for the last several days, or the anti-pharma trade, which is partly the same reasons as the anti-IT trade? How would you approach portfolio allocation at this point?
So it's a pro-cyclical sort of allocation. You have
dominantly. 80% of your money, you'd say, 80% of the money you put in equity should be pro-cyclical.
It has to be overweight. You cannot be absent in any sector, because these are all big sectors, IT and FMCG, they are all big sectors. So you can't be completely zero there. You need to be dramatically underweight, and you need to be dramatically overweight in respect to the cyclicals. So that's where additional delta would come going forward.
FMCG is also an economy play. So how would you treat that differently from IT and pharma, or is it being treated like this today because of the run-up it's seen so far?
The run-up it has seen, and most of the people were over-invested there. So therefore, at least even coming to neutral, they would release a lot of money, and so therefore it would probably correct a bit more.
Within cyclicals, because that's such a broad area, right? It could be financials, it could be auto companies, it could be industrials, it could be the energy complex. What do you like the most?
Well, I think the private sector banks are a class apart.
But isn't that a safe bet, Mr. Bhatt? Every brokerage report has named ICICI Bank and Axis Bank, and I'm thinking, well, do we really need a highly paid fund manager to tell us ICICI Bank and Axis Bank are good buys?
Well, I mean, if they are good buys, they are good buys. I mean, I don't think you should blame the fund managers for being...
Can it go beyond that into maybe some less identified, less
infrastructure sector where the companies have reasonably good balance sheets, not terribly over-leveraged.
L&T, BHEL?
I think so. These L&T for sure, and BHEL might have run a bit too much. But the infrastructure sector, the energy sector, the engineering sector.
Do you look at energy, sort of uniformly? Like, for instance, you could look at energy from the coal point of view. You could energy from the power companies like Tata Power or the NTPC point of view. You could look at energy from the oil and gas point of view. Which one do you like in this space?
The power companies, where power companies where there is a promise of raw material being released, the receivables being released. So I think these are the companies which can do well. Plus also, I think the oil marketing companies, if there is going to be deregulation, which I think it is now or never, they have to do it now. So if they do it now, I think the oil marketing companies will be in a different plane altogether. I think that is another sort of subsector where one could be betting on.
Anuj?
Mr. Bhatt, what about cement stocks? Again, these are the stocks that all through the year led the rally. I mean, not going up 6-7% in a day, but 2%, 3% a week, and some of the stocks gained big time. Any stocks, I know you don't want to talk stock specific, but within this space, would you bullish?
Yeah, I think that space is also interesting, but probably not as interesting as infrastructure and power, where the delta could be larger. But I think the movement there would probably be followed by movement in cement also. So therefore, I think this is some sector which probably will benefit from the change in the policy regime.
Sorry. No, go ahead.
Apart from this oil subsidy, anything in particular that we'll be watching out for in the first budget?
I think the whole fixing the budget itself, like say for example, divestment versus privatization. Because if they are bold enough, they can sort of divest at least the SUTI ones immediately. They can probably give that BALCO and all that at some rate, which is of course very transparent. They could probably get about 60,000-70,000 crores out of that, and so that will solve the problem for the present. At least whatever is the understated debt subsidy last year, that could be sort of covered with that. Plus the subsidy regime, so that you have a sustainable budget deficit which can finance growth going forward. Because we should also expect that entrepreneurs are not going to be terribly speedy in terms of putting up new projects. Initially, I think the impetus has to be given by the government. So the government also has to think in terms of generating resources to get started the whole investment momentum. So therefore, I think they have to find money for that. So therefore, I think fixing the subsidy regime is very, very important.
So we're 1 minute away from the market, so we'll just quickly turn our attention back to where it seems we might be closing. There you've got it. We started the show with 1% gains on the Sensex and the Nifty. We've closed a tad below that, and all of those gains have shifted to the mid-cap space, which was up about 3% when we started the show, now up about 4.5%. As for sectors, well, you've heard us talk this through the course of the show today. So we won't run you through more of that, except to say that BHEL is ending the day 14.5% higher. Coal India is 13% higher, NTPC is 12% higher, and PNB is 11% higher. The Bank Nifty today was a big outperformer. In terms of losers, you've got IT, pharmaceuticals and FMCG. Those were the three key losing areas on the Nifty, including cement stocks, which were reasonably lower today. And I think some auto stocks also took it on the chin. So Bajaj Auto, Tata Motors, they were lower in trade today. Anuj, mid-cap?
Well, Menaka, everything is up today.
I think only one mid-cap stock is down in the index, which is First Source.
Yeah, and I think the mid-cap index would close
And
at
HCL
a new
Infosys.
all-time high in today's trade. 9,925 is what we have, 4.5% higher. JP Power, 31% on that. That's an FNO stock, so no circuit. 31% gain in a single trading session is what we had in JP Power. It will be interesting to see if it's backed by delivery-based buying. Lanco Infra 20%, Hindustan Construction 20%, MMTC 20%. A lot of circuit stocks, IVRCL, JP Infra, GVK, Suzlon, Indiabulls Power, Syntex, Ponge Lloyd, Unitech.
Stop to catch some breath. Anuj.
And all these stocks, Menka, with massive volumes. Cash market volumes today crossed 31,000 crores on the NSE. In fact, in the top traded stocks, only ITC was in the red. Apart from that, the rest 49 stocks out of top 50 traded stocks were actually in the green.
I know we closed with almost 3 lakh crores in terms of combined volumes,
Yes.
which would give any good expiry day competition in that sense, right? It's been a fairly momentous day in terms of buying and selling activity. We'll get a quick voice in from both Sudarshan and Amrish on what they make of today's trade and how this sets us up for the rest of the week. Amrish?
It's a completely different zone with the political uncertainty out of the way. I think it's clearly a bull market, but it will not be a one-way street. What we are seeing today is some sort of a euphoria, and quite a few of these names, whether we talk of infrastructure, power, capital goods, I think at least getting a bit overpriced in the short term. So I think over the next, possibly after a few days, you'll see a correction, and I think that is the time to actually get in for a longer term.
You want
Yeah.
name some stocks on that list of overbought?
Overbought, clearly, if you look at stocks like GVK, GMR, HCC, all these stocks have, were moving up for the last couple of days, and I think most of them have seen that 30-40% sort of a gain. So at these levels, I find that a bit overbought, but then if you're talking of longer term, it's very much possible that a stock like HCC can see levels of about 38-40. GMR also similarly can see levels of 38-40.
So Darshan, some of the power stocks really run away today, as Anuj was pointing out. JP Power, for instance, I know that's, I think it's a stock that you track up 20%. Is it overbought on the charts, or do you think that it can go up even from here?
No, at this point there's nothing overbought on the charts. My own sense is that a lot of the power stocks that are running away will stall and consolidate for a long period of time. In my dictionary, long means a month, 1.5 months. The one power stock that I am upbeat on is a conservative stock, that is Tata Power, and that's the place where money parked now should be sort of giving returns.
So Darshan, you said that the time is to focus on mid caps, and normally you don't really trade in mid caps, but we're now going through a period where we've seen massive surge in the mid cap names. Any 3 or 4 stocks that you can recommend at current levels?
Well, one of them is Manappuram Finance, and that's a stock that I think is going to do well, although it belongs to the mid cap category. The other one, again, because NBFCs are my favorite, is SKS Micro. So that's another one that I'm tracking, and that's something that should be considered. A lot of the infrastructure stocks that have rallied, as just Senthil was saying, are best avoided.
Amrish, stocks that you think might not have gotten the love they deserve over the last 2 or 3 days, and therefore are good places to look for some gains in over the course of the rest of this week?
I think like most of the infra names and the capital goods names have shot up quite a lot in the last 1 week, 10 days. So at these levels, I'll not really suggest anything to be picked up, at least from a short-term angle. But then I think, like I said, you should wait for some sort of a correction and get into it from a longer term perspective. And one of those stocks which I would recommend is ILFS Transportation, which I recommended earlier also at closer to about levels of 130, 140. But then, after the correction, I don't think you'll see those levels, but even closer to say about 150 or 160, I think one should look at buying that stock.
So Darshan, you said be careful of infrastructure. Would you extend that to related sectors like cement, which also run away quite a bit?
No. I was talking of the stocks that have now started a rally after having fallen 80-90% from their last bull market. That was we know the names.
Okay.
Cement is a different story altogether, and so is L&T. I am very upbeat on L&T. It's just beginning a bull market.
Brokerages done very well. Do you track any of them today? Whether it's Motilal, Edelweiss, IIFL, any of them? Do you track any of these shares?
Yeah, Senthil, I wouldn't touch them. This is a problem that happens with mid caps frequently, that a lot of stuff starts going up which doesn't deserve any attention. Focus on the best quality. That's where the money comes from.
Sudarshan, any option strategy? We got about 2 weeks now. It's a pretty long series actually till expiry, and implied volatilities have fallen after the last 2 days. But any particular strategy that you have in mind?
Yeah, we are now suggesting, and I'm sharing it now. Implied volatilities have fallen, but the key point is that markets are likely to remain choppy and in a range. So collect some premium, sell 7,000 puts and 7,500 calls. That becomes a selling of a strangle, but I think that should work out.
So in that case, would that also become the stop loss for someone with a futures trader, both on the upside and downside? I mean, is that the range that you're expecting for the Nifty?
For that particular options trade, yeah, that's the range I'm expecting. For a futures trader, of course, it becomes a large stop loss. But for the options trader who takes this trade, a touching of these boundaries is a trigger to exit. Otherwise, stay with it.
Amrish, between Dr. Reddy's, ITC, Infosys, the stocks that have corrected 15% or so from highs, any stock that you'll recommend at current levels?
In fact, all these three stocks one should be picking up for the core portfolio, but then I think one should pick up at various levels on the way down. It is, at these levels also, I really can't say that this is the bottom, because the sentiment is decently negative as far as these sectors go. But then these stocks should be there in the core portfolio, so it should be picked up at various levels. For example, something like Infosys, I'll continue picking up. It's possible that we could see levels of 2700, 2750, but then at every 50, 100 rupee fall, one should keep picking it up.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. Amrish and Sudarshan for being with us on Closing Bell. Mr. Bhatt, before we let you go, I have a couple of quick questions on the macro economy. Yes, it's a great plus that we have a decisive mandate and we have someone like Mr. Modi who's focused on development come to power.